Today, one of these lucky contestants will win his or her weight in fish right here on Wheel of Fish. Okay, Weaver, listen carefully. You can hold on to your red snapper, or you can go for what's in the box that Hiro-san is bringing down the aisle right now. What's it gonna be?
I'll take the box! The box!
You took the box! Let's see what's in the box!
Hey, and welcome to the Board Game Batcave, new segment called What's in the Box. Well, you can see this first week we're going to do nothing personal because we love the components in this box. And we had a request from some of our viewers to show what was in some of the boxes. So we're going to do a new segment as a companion piece to some of our review videos to show you what's in the box. And so let's get started with nothing personal. So let's get started with nothing personal. This box is very heavy. It comes with a lot of components. If you watched our review video, you can hear us brag on the quality and the number of components. So we're going to start out with the board. So you can see here it's a very nice quality, and over here on the left you've got your round tracker. Tells you, kind of keeps, because there are a lot of things going on in this game, it kind of helps you keep track of what's going on, and there's some markers for that. And then just in a little pyramid shape here, they've got the different levels of the gang, starting with the capo at the top, who has the ring, of course. And then you have associates, what you pull. It's like your pool where you pull new recruits from, because some are going to prison and some are sleeping with the fishes. And then of course you've got spaces for your influence cards. And down here at the bottom is where you're going to track your respect, which is kind of like how you win the game, the point tracker for each of your different players. So of course you get your rule book, and let's see what's in the box. One of the greatest parts about this game is they give you tuck boxes for each family, which is basically each player's pieces, which are influence tokens. So you can see that they each one has personalized influence tokens, so it's easy to track who's in control of a gangster. And you get 5 of those because it's a 5-player game, up to 5 players. So you've got the Famiglia Minuetto, the Fiducianis, the Casa Hanferatis, the Barbarossas, and the Delarosas, which are all basically Italian flavored gangs. They give you a tuck box for the gangster cards, which I'm sorry to say doesn't hold all the cards once you buy all the expansions, but you know, I think it'll do for just the base game. You get your meeples. Some people, notably the OGG, would complain that there's not a green meeple because that's his favorite color, but some people don't care. You've got a tuck box for your influence cards. Let me show you some of these cards that come with it, because the art is one of my favorite things about the game. So the influence cards are basically broken down by what you can do. These are the cards you play on the different players or gangsters. And then you've got your actions down here, and at the top it kind of tells you the what it affects. So like this, it has to be a thug gangster because there's 4 different types of gangsters. And some of them, if they don't have one, it will affect anybody. And so those are your influence cards, which everybody is. It's kind of like your rotating deck in your hand. And then the actual gangster cards, which is my favorite, the artwork. This guy had to draw a lot of pictures. So you've got to get a little bit more light in here. So you get a lot of your different gangsters. All gangsters are marked with a respect value and a dollar amount, and that's so that when they're placed on the board, you can see it matches up with a respect and dollar amount. You add those two together, and that's what you earn for that player if you control them that round. So it's a little interesting, so that it can be a little random each time, because if she's there, she's worth 4 respect and $3 to you that round. But if she's over here, she's worth 3 respect and $5. So you may have to think about where you're going to play your gangsters and move them around, because there's always movement, people making moves on another position or trying to whack another gangster, which is probably one of the funnest parts of the game. Of course, you've got your standard money cardboard tokens. You've got your 10s, your 1s, which there's plenty of, and your 5s. And that's just your, nothing special about those. They're just lots of cardboard. You've also got your round trackers. These are the little X's I talked about. They go up here in the corner to help you keep track of what round it is. It's a little, basic, but it gets the job done. It lets you know when 5 rounds are over with, so the game can be over and you can count everybody's score. You get your regular 6-sided dice, which is just numbers. The red dice is when you attempt to whack another gangster. You can see that there's different effects based on the gangsters they can have and what they do. And then the black dice is when you try to make a move on another position. And you can see there's some numbers and there's some bad signs, like with the knife on this one, the attempter is killed. So you can die attempting to move on another gangster. And that's what the reroll tokens are for. If you roll a bad number, some of the powers on the cards allow you to get reroll tokens. Some of the powers on the board allow you to get replay tokens or reroll tokens. And that's when you would use those when you accidentally kill yourself. Neutral markers are just like the ones in the tuck boxes for the players, only no one controls them. Sometimes you're forced to place neutral markers on different characters, which doesn't go towards anybody's control of it, but it does make sure that some of these people can go to jail faster, because the number of influence markers is what determines who goes to prison. And here's where, wow, this got such a good score. Metal components. The gold coins are blackmail tokens, which you can use on other players to keep them from acting, or you get to decide when they can act. The silver coins are probably the most confusing item in the game, because the rulebook doesn't explain them at all. But after a little research, you can find out that the Omerta coin is used by the power from the second guy. It's used as a negate action token, so you can stop someone from doing something. And of course there's 2 of them, because sometimes there's cards that allows you to duplicate powers. And the much coveted capo ring, which we've all fought over in our group. We actually wear the ring and play up the whole bit. It's also made of metal, and that's the guy who's going to be mostly breaking ties, is the biggest power of that, or deciding whenever there's neutral or an equal amount of influence markers from 2 different players. The capo is the guy who decides who actually controls it. And the last thing inside the box is a nice little cardboard piece, which there's one for each family, each player, and it's just there to remind you how to make a move, how to whack a gangster, and then over here are some of the things that you can do during your round that you may forget about, like being able to pay $10 to re-roll a dice, to sell a card for $8 at any time. All the players have the same things on their cards, but you'll notice if they're in different fonts, they look different backgrounds. It's really nicely done. It's not a standard issue, if you will. So there you have it. That's what's in the box. It's got a little bit of separation here to keep things organized, but mostly you're going to... Oh, it does come in the box. It does come with plastic bags for your components, besides the tuck boxes to put your stuff in, which was a very nice component. That's like a applause right there. So it comes with plastic bags and everything to put your stuff in so that it's not rolling around, even though I'm having trouble fitting all of my dollar bill tokens into one bag. I should have probably split them up. But there you have it. That's what's in the box. And we go enjoy. If you would like to watch our review of the game, you can find it right here. And we'll see you next time on the Board Game Batcave. Thanks.